Welcome to John Marshall High School's Exploring Woodworking Training Series. The Surface Sander. The surface sander is used to put an initial smooth surface on the face of a board or flat glued assembly of boards such as a tabletop. The surface sander can be used to remove up to 1/4 of an inch of surface material. If more than 1/4 of an inch needs to be removed, a planer should be used. It will take approximately 10 passes to remove 1/4 of an inch. A planer can do it much faster. The surface sander will even the surface of an edge-glued board surface. 2 surface sanders are available in the John Marshall High School woodshop. One is for surfaces up to 24 inches wide, and the sanding action takes place on a 60-inch long belt. Here is another view of Sander 1, which I will refer to as the Powermatic sander. The other surface sander available at John Marshall High School uses 2 drums wrapped with sandpaper and has a capacity of 36 inches wide. Here is another picture of Sander 2. I will refer to it as the green sander. Dust from both sanders is removed through a dust collection system and must be used. The 24-inch Powermatic belt must be tightened with air pressure prior to use. The air pressure valve lever is located on the lower right-hand side of the machine. It needs to be in the up position with the machine being used. The material or stock is automatically fed into the surface sander by the adjustable rubber conveyor belt. Here the conveyor belt is seen on the green surface sander. Both machines have adjustable belt tables. The height of this table is adjusted by the adjustment wheel. The feed belt and the sanding belt are activated by push button on or start buttons. As you see, the Powermatic and the green surface sander have similar controls. Both surface sanders also have 2 methods for turning off the machine. Both surface sanders have emergency stop switches. The emergency stop button on the green sander is to the right of the rubber in-feed table. Make yourself familiar with the differences in the emergency stop controls on both pieces of equipment. Safety procedures. Safety glasses must be worn when working around the surface sander or any other power equipment. When operating any power equipment, full attention must be focused on your work. Do not allow yourself to be distracted. The feed table must be adjusted at or more than the thickness of the piece being sanded. Do not surface sand materials shorter than 10 inches long. Surface sand with the grain only. Keep the work area and floor clean. Do not wear loose-fitting clothing, gloves, bracelets, necklaces, or ornaments which may get caught in the machine's moving parts. Keep your hands away from all moving parts, including sanding belts and drums when the machine is operating. The only adjustment that should be made with the machine running is the table height when there is no material being sanded. Make sure the machine is at full operating speed before sanding. Do not put your fingers or hands between your material and the face belt. Make sure to turn off the machine and wait before it is fully stopped before walking away. Know where the emergency stop switches are and use them if necessary. Operating procedures. All surface glue must be removed from the material or it will ruin the sandpaper. The sandpaper costs $30 for the 24-inch sander and $60 for the drum sander. If you are unsure if the surface is adequately cleaned of glue, check with the instructor before sanding. Turn on the air supply when using the 24-inch Powermatic surface sander. Measure the stock to be sanded. If sanding an edge-glued assembly, typically the measurement for the thickness is taken along an edge-glued joint, which is poorly matched. Set the in-feed table for the thickness of your assembly. Here you see the meter for setting the thickness on the 24-inch Powermatic. Now turn on the feed belt. Set the material on the feed belt, keeping your hands and fingers out from under the material. Turn on the sanding belt or drums. Allow the belt to feed the material. Do not push on the material. If the material is long, you need to support it as it goes in and again as it comes out. This may be a two-person operation. Nothing shorter than 10 inches can be used. Check for glue. Glue ruins the sanding belt. After the first pass that removes sandings, raise the feed table 1/2 a turn on the 24-inch Powermatic sander and 1/4 of a turn on the green drum sander. Over-adjusting will bog down the sander and may ruin your wood. Now it is time again to measure your material to determine when sanding is done. Finish sanding needs to be done with the hand sander. Congratulations! You are now ready to take the surface sander online safety test.